Gang, what's going on? How the heck are y'all? Oh, I'm having an interesting day. But you know, every day is an interesting day. Some people say every day above ground's a good day. Catch that if you catch it. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. Phantm Phuego. Inhale, exhale, breathe on it, come in. You are tuned in to his Ghetto point of view. Well, you get the news, views, previews, and reviews. With just a twist of his Ghetto point of view. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, ooh. His Ghetto point of view. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Ooh, I think I'm gonna come up with a nice catchy title song. Gotcha. So how the heck is everybody feeling though, man? Stuff been absolutely crazy out here. Everybody coming down. Or something. Some people got the flu, some people got the cold, some people got pneumonia. Stay safe, Stay hydrated, stay healthy, stay eating well, stay exercising, stay focused on a brighter tomorrow, gang. We got this. For those that don't make it, know we always love you. But if you're listening to this, you're making it already. Congratulations. Now what you plan to do with it? Make a new move. 1-2 with it. How you plan to flip it? Where you plan to go? Sorry, I'm just smoking and rapping. Rapping and smoking. Smoking and rapping. Rapping and smoking. But anyway. What's been going on with me? A lot of crazy. Shout out to Fos. Dope producer over on the other side of the water. Sent the crazy beat pack out. I'm working. About to have some dope-ish. Give it a sec. Shout out to everybody that rocks with me. Gives me an opportunity to do what I do. Check me on Friday. I'm maybe popping out to the Smoky Jokey podcast with the good brother Henny Cornelius. Should be cool. I don't know if you guys remember, Henny Cornelius was one of my first interviews when I first set the show off. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to listen back to some of the amazing interviews I've had on the show so far, please do yourself a favor. Check those out. Do yourself a favor and check those out. Amazing interviews, comedians, actors, business people behind the scenes, DJs, executive producers, show organizers, independent entrepreneurs, you name it, they've been through, they've rolled through, more coming through. That's what we do here at His Ghetto Point of View. Bring you the news, views, previews, and reviews. With just a twist of His Ghetto Point of View, but we also bring some of the most interesting, mesmerizing, thought-provoking guests that we can have on, because I feel that balance is a good time. I feel that balance is a good time. You know, there's just some times where I really just gotta talk to the people. You know what I mean? We gotta just have a chat. We gotta fireside, chop it up. I ain't trying to be president or nothing, but you know. But yeah, sometimes we just gotta fireside, chop it up. And, there's other times where, there's so many great intellectuals that I meet in this journey called life and on my quest to be the best, that I just want to make sure that those people get to share a dime, a gem, a jewel with y'all too, because I feel that they've all inspired me and helped me get to where I'm trying to head. And I know for a fact that they can inspire people out there as well. So thank you so much if you've been tuning back in to the other episodes. Like, 53 right now, so we building up a catalog. We building up a nice hallmark card, if you will, of a time capsule. Listen back when you get a moment. Listen to so much, and if you're interested in music, if you're interested in being behind the scenes in the music industry, behind the scenes in the film industry, being an actor, being a comedian, being in athletics, being in health and well-being, being in finance, there's different guests that will be rolling through or have rolled through already that are dropping so many jewels. If you have interest in a multitude of those areas, then this is the show for you. If you got friends that got interest in those areas, share the show out. Tell them we get it in Wednesdays and Sundays. We do this, and it's a blessing. And I'm so humbled and thankful to have y'all as my audience, man. Like, real rap over here, smoking on this good wood, smoking on this good. It's a blessing, man. Can't say it any other way. We all got problems in life, but how you handle those is what sets you apart. I fully am a believer of that. And how you handle that is what sets you apart. Period, point blank. So with that being said, we'll jump into a quick break. We'll be right back. First story of the night. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. This is Ghetto Point of View. Let's get to it. Yeah, we back, fam. How y'all doing? So yeah, I just feel so blessed and amazed to do this. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe, whichever platforms you're on. Favorite the show, join the show, subscribe to the show. However, whatever acronym or whatever name your platform uses for it, hit the notification bell, hit the heart, favorite it, put it in your playlist, and then join, become a member of the community, man. We a growing community, and you don't want to miss any episodes. It'll be, every episode's a ride and adventure with an audience like this. And as always, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com is the place you can get at me. Also on IG, you can catch us at his ghetto POV, his ghetto point of view, HGPOV show, any of those. And always, you can also follow my personal page, Phantm Phuego, for the music vibes. Also, if you need any audio engineering, get at me at Phantom on your mix or EQislife at gmail.com. EQislife at gmail.com. And as always, shout out to the people at AJ's Kitchen for hooking us up with the amazing meals. Serving the fresh raw ginger teas chopped up. It's really good for this time of the year. Highly recommend it. Can't say enough about the great food I get out of that place. If you need anything catered, vegan people that like Americana food or Caribbean food with a vegan twist, but most of the Caribbean food is vegan in and of itself, but the Americana food, as far as burgers, fries, hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, all of that from scratch, fresh baked breads, gluten-free, nut and allergen-free, fresh snacks, vegan gummies, vegan lollipops, vegan cakes, vegan breads, vegan fresh made chips, salads, sides. I can't, sweet potato fries, they just added those to the menu. It's really dope over at AJ's Kitchen, based out of the Bronx, but they're proudly serving the entire NYC area. AJ's Kitchen. Check out their Instagram page. They take orders there as well. And they got the AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com. AJSKITCHINN. AJSKITCHINN at gmail.com. Check them out. AJ's Kitchen. Company on the rise out here in the city doing their thing. So anyway, stuff has been crazy. Have you guys been seeing what's going down? Man, oh man. Stuff is insane. Uh, there's a report that our friend in arms, Mr. Bill Gates, Forbes has an article. Bill Gates has a solution for the climate change issues that we're having. But it's a solution that doesn't come without its controversy, and a lot of people are a little up in arms about. And he wants to essentially block out the sun. Y'all probably be like, what? Yeah, like first of all, The Simpsons again. I don't know if anybody who's a Simpsons fan remembers the episode where Montgomery Burns blocked out the sun. I mean, that led to him being murdered. If nobody remembers, Montgomery Burns blocked out the sun, and that led to him being murdered. But anyway, Bill Gates venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block out the sun. So what their plan is to shoot out these particles into the atmosphere via all of these different what are those called? Those planes that shoot out the dust clouds that they use sometimes for crop spraying and stuff. Use a similar type of technology, but of course much more advanced, and that can cover a much more expansive area, a much wider range, to essentially cover out the sun. Very interesting, guys. So Microsoft's billionaire founder Bill Gates is financially backing the development of a sun dimming technology that will potentially reflect sunlight out of the Earth's atmosphere, triggering a global cooling effect. The stratospheric controlled perturbation experiment, also known as ScopeX, launched by Harvard University scientists, aims to examine the solution by spraying non-toxic calcium carbonate, the formula for which the elemental formula for which is CaCO3 for my science buffs out there. By spraying non-toxic calcium carbonate dust into the atmosphere, a sun-reflecting aerosol that may offset the effects of global warming. So essentially spray a bunch of a aerosol type spray into the air that is a reflector that will reflect the sun's rays back up into the sun. What in the fruit snacks? What in the fruit? What in the fruit snacks is going on here? I just want to know how much this dude smokes, man. Like, I just want to know, like, how much this person smokes. Like, because, really, like, how much do you smoke? How much do you smoke? What are you doing? How much do you smoke, bro? You vaping? You dabbing? What you hitting diamonds? like him and Melinda look like they get it up. You know what I'm saying? They be looking happy all the time. You know what I'm saying? People be saying all type of crazy shit about Bill Gates. Hey man, hey man, what can I say? You know what I'm saying? Cool is the other side of the pillow. This one is, man. Cool is the other side of the mother freaking pillow. Hey man, what can I say? Like, what? Boy, you can say a lot. You could actually say a whole lot, but you're choosing not to. And that's supposed to be funny. So, article in Forbes continues widespread research into the efficacy of solar geoengineering. Solar geoengineering. So there's a whole science behind this. Wait, to engineer something means to build it or design it. So they're going to be designing the Earth's relationship with the sun, manufacturing it. I ain't signed up for that. Did you sign up for that? Where was the sign up? When was sign up day for this? Oh man, it's going down. Has been stalled for years, the efficacy research, so pretty much checking if this is a good thing to be doing or not, has been put on hold for years due to controversy. So why would doing the research into the efficacy of it be put on hold due to the controversy. I would think if it's controversial, you should research it to make sure you're not gonna kill the planet. Like you're not gonna ruin the planet's crops and stuff by blocking out the sun's rays to a degree. Like what if the plants need the amount of sun rays that they get, or they'll grow funny, or they won't have all the nutrients that we get from the sun in the plants now. You know what I'm saying? Like those that don't know, protein is just a complex, a series of complex carbohydrates that kind of are absorbed. Well, not complex carbs, it's complex fibers, I guess you would say, that are absorbed into the plants by the sun. I'm explaining it completely wrong. I'll get the exact the exact terminology of what it is, but just understand this: protein is pretty much absorbed into plants by its plants doing photosynthesis, getting the sun, taking in all the good things, letting out it's what it expels. Again, I'm not a scientist, gang, to this regard. I'm an audio engineer, so if you want to talk about some audio engineering or some finance stuff or some business stuff, I can get very technical with the terms, but I haven't studied this as much, so I've studied it a little bit. I can recommend some amazing people to talk to about this, and they can give you all of the technical jargon, but understand, like Dr. Milton Mills, amazing board certified doctor out there in Maryland, who deals with patients in the ER rooms and the OR rooms, people that are almost to their deathbeds. He deals with them all the time. Brilliant mind in this space. Him, Banana Maniac, brilliant minds in this space. But anyway, you get all protein from plants, right? Plants absorb the protein from the molecules in the air. I'll just say it like that, right? They get it. They give it to animals. Animals chew it up. Some people who eat meat get it from animals that way when it's secondary process, but they also get a lot of carcinogens or cancer-causing agents, potentially, if the meat is not prepared properly, if the meat is not cultured properly, grown properly, they can get some cancer-causing agents. And then, people will always say back to that, well, you can get Ebola and stuff from broccoli or spinach and but a lot of the carcinogens that were in those plants were because those plants got contaminated because they were grown by animals. But I'm not saying that because, everybody in the world should just eat plants. Do what you do, live your life, but understand what you're putting in your system can have drastic effects on your mental health, your physical health, your state of being, your wellness, body, mind, soul, and all that. It's not the ultimate only factor, but there's a lot to it. And yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough from my personal experience with it, but it's for everybody to try and have their own journey with. You know what I'm saying? Some people would be like, oh, it's the most spiritual, uplifting thing you could do. Some people be like, oh, that's BS. You lose all your muscles and this and that. It's not the most spiritual thing you could do. There are more spiritually enlightened things you could do, and it's not gonna make you lose all your muscles either. So it falls somewhere in between. It's a good lifestyle. It's a clean lifestyle. It's great for your body. It's great for your energy levels. It's great for your mind's clarity. Even just cutting down or abstaining certain days on meats could help and give you some of those effects. Just something to think about, family, because we all about health and wellness here. But as I was saying, the proteins come into the plants. Plants give it to the animals. Then people take it from the animals. But if the animals is not grown, cultivated, animal agriculture, as they call it, if the animal agriculture is done in a non-clean way, in a not sanitary way, as unfortunately goes on too much in our society today, it's just something to be mindful and think about. Where is this meat coming from? Where is this beef coming from? Where is this chicken coming from? Where is this fish coming from? Where is this seafood period coming from? Where is, same way you got to worry about what's in the ground that grows your vegetables, But anyway, yeah, so I say all that to say, You know, just like they be spraying the crops with wild stuff with the crop dusters. That's the word, crop dusters. Sometimes they've got pretty much dusters to dust the atmosphere. And if they dust the atmosphere and the plants need a certain amount of sunlight to grow the way they grow and to get the protein and nutrients, and because they do this, they cut off that connection the plants have to the sun and growing out to its full potential, so it can then turn around and provide the services that it does to the animal life, whether it be to bees or to butterflies, or if it can provide the services as a provider of nutrition to things larger up the food chain like ourselves, or the other things people may eat, frogs, goats, giraffes, monkeys, whatever you eat, cats. Shout to Azalea. Can't even understand how people mad that she eating cats. When people eat, some people would be like, why you eat cows? That's sacred to Indians. Some, not just Indians, but people who practice some, Eastern religions, some Far East religions. Cow is sacred to them. They'd be like, how could you even eat that? So I think it's just cultural. But that's a different conversation for a different time. Just thought I'd throw that tidbit in there. But yeah, what if the sun is required at full blast to make sure that the plant and animal life that grows on this planet grows at the pace and consistency it's supposed to grow? That relationship can't be for nothing. That relationship is specific and it's exact and it's there for a reason. The earth, I don't believe the earth is the third planet for nothing, and I don't believe the relationship to how much direct or indirect lighting it gets at different times of the year, depending on where you're at on the planet, is just for nothing either. I don't believe any of the stuff they teach us about, how it rotates or revolves. I don't think any of that is for no reason. If that is how it is actually planned out and designed to interfere with any of that, I think it's playing Russian roulette. Whether it's an immediate negative reaction to it or a long-term one that we slowly develops. I don't want no three-eyed fish like in The Simpsons. That's not appealing or appetizing. But anyway, the article goes on to say Scopex will take a small step into its early research this June, and this is an article from a few days ago, near the town of Kiruna, Sweden. Kiruna. Where the Swedish Space Corporation has agreed to help launch a balloon carrying scientific equipment 12 miles high. The launch will not release any stratospheric aerosols. Rather, it will serve as a test to maneuver the ball and examine communications and operational systems. If successful, this could be a step toward a second experimental stage that would release a small amount of CaCO3 dust into the atmosphere. Carbon, and the Ca, that's calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate. David Keith, a professor of applied physics and public policy at Harvard University, recognizes the very real concerns of geoengineering. It is true that no one knows what will happen until the CaCO3 is released and then studied afterward. Keith and fellow Scopex scientists published a paper in 2017 suggesting that the dust may actually replenish the ozone layer by reacting with the ozone-destroying molecules. Further research on this and similar methods could lead to reductions in risk and improved efficacy of solar geoengineering methods, write the authors of the paper, or the exact flip side could happen and it could completely kill everything. I'm just saying, we gotta be honest. Oh, this could fix everything. It could. But if there's even a slight chance that it could completely also destroy everything, we got to be honest and tell the people that. Because again, I don't know where y'all was at, but I don't remember or recall signing up for this. And if they're saying they're halting the research into the efficacy of this, they're halting the research into how effective this could be, why would you halt the research because it's controversial? No, if by doing research you mean experimenting on the sky, if you're already doing that, then you haven't halted research. What you've halted is studying if it's effective, or at least divulging that or telling the people what your results are, which is crazy because we ain't got time for this. We don't need this right now in our lives. The sun is a beautiful thing. Early research suggests that the substance has near ideal optical properties that would allow it to absorb far less radiation than sulfate aerosols, causing significantly less stratospheric heating. This is the purpose of the experiment. Once a safe experimental amount of CO3 is released, the balloon will fly right through it, sampling atmospheric reactions and recording resulting dynamics. Fran Kush, the project's principal investigator, doesn't know what the results might bring. The perfect aerosol would not immediately tamper with the stratospheric chemistry at all. The only thing it would do is scatter maximum sunlight and hence cool down the planet. The proponents of geoengineering have cited the global cooling effects of the volcanic eruptions that result from the introduction of sulfuric ash into the atmosphere. The 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia resulted in the year without a summer, while the 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines lowered global temperatures by 0.05%. Deliberate introduction of similar particles could potentially counter decades of greenhouse gas emissions. A report by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change suggested the SCOPEX procedure could lower global temperatures by a full 1.5 degrees Celsius for no more than $1 to $10 billion a year. Oh, is that all? Is that all? These, so it's either have the organic natural stuff or pay $10 billion a year potentially for this. Again, I don't know where I got to sign up. Again, these temperature decreases, the article continues, bring with them serious risk. Of course, freezing temperatures in 1815 led to failed crops. Come on, wasn't we just talking about this? In near famine conditions. Because the sun is necessary at the particular temperature it's at, it being at that temperature, because of the distance we are, because of the time we get directs and all that stuff that they, throw at us. You know what I'm saying? That might just be hoggy pooky, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Basing all of that on the science that we have and readily understand, why would you mess with that dope interplay and that delicate balance? That sound crazy as hell. British scientists have cited stratospheric aerosols from volcanic eruptions in Alaska and Mexico as the potential cause of drought in Africa's Sahel region. Major disruption of the global climate could bring unintended consequences, negatively impacting high populated regions and engineering another refugee crisis. People would have to run and flee from the places that they is not getting the proper natural sun because there would be no food growing in those places anymore. Then we not even the scientist family, and we came up to that conclusion. That sound about right, don't it? Sound about right. Shout to Buddy. That sound about right. David Keefe has proposed the creation of a risk pool to compensate smaller nations for collateral damage caused by such tests. Y'all playing games, but such a payout might be of little comfort to those displaced by unlivable conditions. The United States, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia blocked the 2019 United Nations assessment of global geoengineering plans. Oh, so the UN is trying to run tests all over the world with this, huh? International cooperation will be required to assess the risk, winners, and losers of any such experiment and how best to proceed with all in mind. Considering the unknown risk attached to solar geoengineering, OECD members should continue in their efforts to develop economically attractive renewable energy technology, even as it supplements such efforts with limited and careful research and experimentation. Nah, don't supplement the efforts. Don't look into something else like this. Go full steam on renewable energy sources and stuff that's in line with the planet. That's what you need to do. Full steam on that, because there's so many different lanes to take with that. Hemp, corn, like, come on, let's really exercise some of those renewable energy sources. Because this is crazy. What are we talking about? Water. Renewable energy sources. Let's focus on that, gang. Insane, man. Insane. Whew. That don't make no kind of good sense. I'm just saying, family. But I mean, feel free to let me know what y'all think. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. HISGHETTO. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. Let me know what you think about that, fam. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Do you think that it's okay for Bill Gates to be funding pretty much spraying massive amounts of aerosol into the air and reflective particles that would potentially cut off the amount of sun that we directly get in an effort to cool down the planet and stop climate change and stop, help potentially heal up the ozone layer? But the flip side is it could destroy the ability for the ground to naturally grow its crops right in the right seasons, and could cause people to have to shift and run out of places where crops can no longer grow. Do you feel that's a good balance? Do you feel that because everything has a cost in life, fam. Everything has a cost. So if the cost for being able to fix the ozone layer from in an inorganic place, because we inorganically destroyed the ozone layer with all of the stuff we put into it. So if the cost of fixing that would further damage the natural order of things in the planet and stop plants and fruit and vegetables from being able to grow in certain parts of the world, and people will become refugees. So even if they cut them a check, it's like, what is that check going to do for me when I got to completely transplant my whole life and maybe even go up to another country, forget across the country, to another country? How would that resolve anything? For $10 billion a year, couldn't y'all just give us that $10 billion into renewable energies or into positive, well-balanced agricultures? There's so many other initiatives that $10 billion could go into. Just my humble opinion. Just his ghetto point of view, family. Just his ghetto point of view. But I'm going to jump into a break real quick, gang. I love it that y'all always rocking and vibing, and y'all always sending such great questions. Please continue to do so. Let me know of your thoughts, your concerns, what you getting into, and what you got on your mind, because, that's always what's most important. I really do appreciate that. I like the potluck. I like to have everybody's thoughts and see the pulse of the people, So when I get up here and talk, I know I'm talking about stuff that really is pertinent to y'all. Stuff that, hit your soul, hit you deep. Stuff you really need to hear about. Stuff that you need to let your fams know about. So make sure to tell a friend. Sundays and Wednesdays is when we get to it. You know how we do it. I appreciate the love. We'll be right back. Cheers. Let's go. Yeah, gang, we back. As always, I just appreciate you guys so much and all y'all do and everything. You guys provide to the program. Your energy is so electric. It's so appreciated. And I really couldn't do it without y'all the same. I really do mean that. I really do appreciate you. But gang, family, we have a dilemma. Right? Now, people out here hurting financially, people out here behind on, bills and stuff. They saying that allegedly at least 20% of Americans are behind on bills, and it's an average of at least $5,000 that people are behind on their rent bills and stuff, mortgages, etc. And that doesn't even include businesses that are behind on their rents, etc. that could also be evicted from business leases. So with all that going on, President Biden was coming out with his economic plan that was supposed to strengthen and embolden the economy, and that was supposed to include initially $2,000 checks, straight cash, right? I don't know if you guys recall, but during the Georgia runoffs, when they were trying to get the 2 Senate seats in Georgia, and they needed people to come out in droves and vote, they said $2,000 in your hand, cold hard chicken, if you come out and vote. $2,000 in your hand. It was like a commercial on Hot 97 or Power 105, $2,000 in your goddamn hand. That was the slogan. He was sticking to it. Had girls twerking it, $2,000 in your hand. Get to the vote, get to the boost, $2,000 in your hand. Shaking it like they shaking it like salt shakers. You know how Georgia do. Got the Magic City vixens out there shaking it. Get to the polls. Get to the polls. Yeah, get to the polls. Get to the polls one time. Yeah, back it up, shake it. Hey, back it up, shake it. Hey, earthquake it. Hey, earthquake it. Hey, back it up, shake it. Hey, back it up, shake it. Drop it slow. And pick it up fast. Hey, back it up, shake it. Hey, back it up, shake it. Hey, earthquake it. Earthquake it. back it up, shake it. Back it up, shake it. Drive it slow and pick it up fast. Hey, they had them out there looking crazy. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Craziness. Man said I got $2,000 a year for you to hit Magic City and do your damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Enough for you to buy the kids some Timbs and stuff before you hit Magic City. You know what I mean? This shit sounded like a good deal. Then all of a sudden it was, unfortunately they got to do the impeachment. And, people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Chuck Schumer came out and said, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, these same mofos came out and talked about how, this is more important and the people going to have to wait for recovery or relief until we get this man up out of office. But hold up. He out of office. Okay, well, this has to be done because people need to be held accountable for their actions, and this will hold the president accountable. The one issue that other senators have brought up about this, and y'all can say, yo, you crazy, shut up, the man needs to be punished, and, I respect your position. But the one thing that a lot of senators, Republican and Democrat, have brought up is, okay, yeah, y'all said the president needs to be punished. To impeach the president is to take a sitting president and remove them from office, fight them, get them up out of here, tell them kick rocks, hit the bricks, get your pink slip on the door out. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. All of those things, right? All of those. But today is January 27th. It is literally a week since the man has been president. 7 days, y'all. Crazy, right? These last 7 days, there's still been riots in the streets. People still dying from coronavirus. People still getting locked up and murdered. And I know y'all going to say, well, you can't fix things overnight. No, you certainly can't. But it seems you could set off the Keystone Pipeline overnight. So there are certain actions you can take on day one. And y'all be like, whoa. You sound crazy. Not really. I just, I'm seeing both sides and I'm weighing it out. And I'm saying that change doesn't happen overnight, except when it's something that people want desperately. And apparently somebody wanted that Keystone Pipeline desperately cut off. And it must have been somebody with the pockets to pay for that type of decision to be made immediately. Because if you got the pockets to pay for the decisions to be made immediately, the decision gets made immediately. And we need to stop playing and acting like that's not the case. If you got the chicken, it happens. If you got the power, you got the clout, you got the military might, you can get it done overnight. But when you don't, you have to wait. You have to do it through bureaucracy. You have to do it through partisanship, meaning both sides of the aisle need to be working together in overwhelming majorities. And then those who could just pay or push their way through to the top. And it ain't always because they got the biggest gun or the biggest checkbook individually. It may be because they have trust in a clique, and that clique has collective power that they never deviate from, because deviating from the clique is punished by literal or figurative death. And when you get back to those type of codes, I think you see differences in how things go. But that's just my sidebar. But anyway, it's been crazy, Got cases up, 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 up. So Biden's talking about getting an additional 200 million vaccines by the end of the summer or the beginning of the summer. He's trying to figure out what the timeline will be. But between having vaccines spoil, vaccines get damaged in transit, people not come back for their second vaccine, people not qualified that you thought qualified, people not wanting the vaccine, between all these different potlucks of individuals, how do you push that so aggressively, knowing that will cause more problems and more unrest? Well, you have one senator who says, well, hey, I got a solution for that. According to Yahoo Finance, only give the stimulus money when everybody out here hurting, when everybody can't pay their bills, when everybody trying to go to Magic City. That it's into that type of vibe anyway. I'm just playing. When everybody trying to do their thing, when everybody trying to take care of the fam, when everybody trying to enjoy, when everybody trying to stock up, I got a great idea. Let's only give the stimuli to people who get shots. Excuse me, sir? Excuse me, sir? What you mean? Excuse me? According to Yahoo Finance, GOP congressmen give $1,400 stimulus checks to people who get the vaccine. One Republican congressman says instead of sending stimulus checks to every qualifying American, which, would be the sensible thing to do and the thing that was campaigned on, direct payments should only go to people who receive the coronavirus vaccine. I hope the administration will look at that option, because we actually buy something with our $1,400, and that's herd immunity, said Republican Steve Stivers of Ohio in an interview with Yahoo Finance Live. So you don't feel people, after watching corporations get billions and trillions of dollars, after watching millions of dollars be paid to count Alaskan fish, after watching countries like Israel and Egypt get all this money out of a care package that was supposed to be to take care of the people in this country who were dealing with the situation in this country, because that's what the package was allegedly for, right? And it went from a $1.8 trillion package to a $9.3 billion package. 1.8 trillion to 900 billion. Lost like half the package in the process. Great. So, article goes on to say President Joe Biden called for individual $1,400 payments after promising $2,000, but now saying now he's just going to finish the job and give you $14. But now maybe we'll look at that in March. That's why, gang, you just got to be financially stable on your own. With the article continues, with some Republicans argue it's too much, and some progressives say it's too little. Stivers opposes additional stimulus checks as the proposal currently stands. The Biden administration has said it prefers to pass a relief package in a bipartisan manner, but has not ruled out trying to push legislation through with only Democratic support. Some Republicans argue another $2 trillion plan isn't necessary yet and adds too much to the national debt just weeks after passing a $900 billion package. But it wasn't $900 billion. It was $2.3 trillion with the other stuff that they had for the government, because the government was shutting down at the time. So they attached that $900 billion to that 1.8 something trillion dollars to count fish and get money to Egypt which allegedly is going to be used to buy weapons from Russia. I don't understand again how any of that helps people here cope with the virus that package was said to be proposed for. But if somebody could tell me at hisghettopointofview@gmail.com, I greatly appreciate it. You can also tell me to shut the fuck up and that I don't know what I'm talking about and give me your perspective on it too. But make sure you come to the table with some facts, not just your attitude. But you could come with your attitude too. I appreciate it. Some of you guys sound funny. Sometimes y'all be saying stuff that don't make no sense, that don't even be about what I talked about. Y'all just need to vent. And I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? It's a safe space. Hit me up. hisghettopointofview@gmail.com. Hit me up. HGPOV show. His Ghetto Point of View show. His Ghetto Point of View. All over Instagram. But for real, guys, tell me, how does that feel? How does it feel to know you could have got 1.8 trillion, but we settled for 900 billion. How does it feel? Baby. I'm sorry. Anyway, it should be debt for the right thing, said Stivers. The quickest thing we need to do if we really want to help the American people is get this economy turned back on. Get people back to work. Get kids back in school. Get ourselves some herd immunity. Get the vaccine distributed as quick as we can. And get the uptake rate up. That's why I'd be willing to accept the $1,400 stimulus check if people are willing to take the vaccine. But that is insane, and you can't do that because if those corporations didn't have to get shots in the arm to get the proverbial shot in the arm that y'all gave them with all that funding, then people should not have to take shots in the arm to get funding for their families, because them being able to fund and provide for their families is what would help them get back to work. It would give them the car fare, the clean clothes, the lunch money, the gas for the car, for their car and for the tolls, the money for the train, the money for the bus. I mean, they can't just magically teleport to work if you want them back at work, though they are going to need finances to cover that until their bosses give them finances, unless you're going to mandate that jobs advance money to workers as well. Or no, we're just going to advance money to the corporations while the workers got to figure some way to scrap it out for the next 1 to 2 to 3 or 4 weeks, depending on the pay schedule or the type of job you do or the type of gig community you're in. Like, this is it's ridiculous and it's disgusting, and it's again a case of why people need to do more for self. And if you be like, yo, I'm not really that business mind type, find people who are around you who are, and grind out with them and come up with deals and negotiate with them good deals. And if you need people to help you negotiate those deals, get those people to help you negotiate those deals and build something for yourself, even if it's on the side of your job, because this is always going to continue to happen. This is a repeat pattern to those that continuously just wait for the government to help them, that they will never give the help that they promise to give in its totality. When they say they will trickle it out, if they give it at all, in full ever. And it's disgusting and it's sad because people out here hurting, people out here hurting, people out here hurting, and this is how they play with us. So the article continues. Stivers said there are opportunities for Republicans and Democrats to find common ground on the stimulus package, including infrastructure projects and giving state and local governments more time to spend previously allocated relief funding. But another one of Biden's campaign promises, raising taxes on the wealthiest Americans, is sure to start a partisan fight in Congress. Stivers argues Biden's proposal to tax capital gains as ordinary income for high earners will hurt economic growth. There are other things I'm willing to look at and willing to have a conversation about, but I would not start with things like capital gains tax increase. If you take more money from corporations, the corporations that can afford it will just outsource their work. They'll build over in Japan. They'll build over in Korea. They'll build over in Canada, in Mexico. They will not stay here and let the government just tax them to death. And it's unrealistic for people to think that corporations are going to sit around to pay all those taxes, because they're not. All that's going to happen is they're going to find cheaper ways to make money. That's how people get rich. They buy low and they sell high. They don't buy high and sell lower. That is not how you get rich. That's how you give your money away to other people. This is This is just how it goes, gang. This is just how it goes. What do you think about it though? Talk to me, fam. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Cause I don't understand how we think these things make any sense. They don't make sense to me. I don't know how they make sense to you. Really don't know how they make sense to you. Don't know how they make sense to you. So, anybody been paying attention to the lottery lately? People won that thing. People got that bag. People got that money up. Whew. They about to be taxed like crazy. Got the $1 billion lottery winner, according to MSN.com. CNN Mega Millions, the winning ticket in the $1 billion lottery, was bought in Michigan. Don't forget to check that Mega Millions lottery ticket, especially if you bought it in the state of Michigan. One ticket that matched 6 numbers for the $1 billion prize was sold in the state, according to a Mega Millions news release on Saturday. This past Saturday, of course. The winning numbers were 4, 26, 42, 50, 60, and a Mega Ball number of 24. Kobe. The lottery said the identity of the ticket owner was not disclosed. Odds of the scoring the jackpot were 1 in 302,575,350. Man. The payout for Friday night's drawing was the second largest in Mega Millions history and the third largest in U.S. history, according to lottery spokesperson Carol Bober Gentry. The lump sum of cash option for the jackpot was an estimated $739.6 million. The jackpot now resets to $20 million for the next drawing scheduled for Tuesday. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Whew. And then I was reading some other articles where it was talking about how if you take the one-time payment of 736, you get about 500 and some change after that first set of taxes they hit you with. Then of course they're going to tax you every year. But the smartest thing to do when you get any type of lump sum, even if it's only a couple hundred bands, guys, even if it's only tens of thousands of dollars, incorporate yourself so you can be using that money as a as something that is in, funds for your company. You know what I'm saying? Don't just have that sitting in a personal bank account because they're gonna tax you like crazy. And don't just be out there just spending it on frivolous stuff. Buy yourself assets that will make sense for you. Buy yourself, invest in companies, invest in other people's dreams and initiatives that you see are on the road to making a ton of money. Don't just invest in something at the super early stages unless you are what they call an angel investor and got the money and you really believe in the idea and you know that the person has the practical know-how and experience in that arena. Don't just because somebody start a somebody want to start rapping at 50 years old. Oh, have you ever rapped before? Nah. Do you make beats? Nah. Do you have any experience being on stage or singing or playing an instrument? Nah. So I mean, why are you doing it? Oh, it's just something I want to do. Do you have any of the capital to put up yourself? Nah. I was hoping you could give me the capital. Have you ever been in the studio? Nah. Have you ever like used the microphone at all? Nah. This doesn't make sense. This is not a good investment. If you find somebody who's a dope chef, like really dope and really puts out gourmet quality dishes, or if they had the time to focus on it, could, because they already put out really, really high end dishes at home in their local community, etc. And they really have a passion for it, and you see them really getting to it. That's somebody you could consider possibly opening up a food stand for, a small shop for, a ghost restaurant for. That's somebody who'd possibly get to the bag for you. You know what I'm saying? If you see somebody designing t-shirts already and they want to further expand their line and they already have a website that's already getting traction and they're already doing promotion and marketing and already have a small following, and they already have ways they're promoting and getting it out there, and they can show results already. Or if they can't show results already, they're getting the practical skills. They in school for it, or they're teaching themselves, or they studying as an internship at some fashion house or some design place. These are people who you could consider, but Not just random people who just say, I want to do something, but are not showing you any initiative or desire to get it done themselves with or without your bag. Because people will see you get to the bag, and now all of a sudden they got a million ideas. If you had those ideas and those ideas was really brewing in you, and you really felt that confident in those ideas, you would have done something with them. Because a lot of people have a lot of great ideas, but they don't do something with them. And it ain't even that their idea is bad. It's just they don't have the confidence to get it done. So that's not somebody you want to invest in. That's something they got to work out within themselves, counseling, whatever, Tai Chi, heavy breathing, meditation, reading the right books, eating the right way, whatever they got to do, they got to get over that themselves before you invest your bag. Because for that, you could just do it yourself. You could be like, well, hell, I always wanted to make donuts and open up a donut shop. At least it's you that's going to lose the bread for yourself, like, and have that experience yourself. You ain't got to live vicariously through some next person trying to have their dreams. Nah, you could do that. You could do bad all by yourself, man. So, if you get to the bag in any form of capacity, opening up a incorporation or LLC is definitely something to consider. Getting business accounts, etc., that you divided in, assets that you know are good, smart assets to divide it into, and let that money grow and bubble up for you. And just, like, so sorry, the gentleman's name escaped my head for a second. R.I.P. to the amazing Prodigy. Like Prodigy said on Young Black Entrepreneurs in the ncaa album, stash your first mill and live off the interest. To the young black entrepreneurs, get dollars, get cash, straight up, go get bucks. You know what I mean? Don't get fucked, go get paid. Stash your first mill, live off the interest. To the young black entrepreneurs. It's a classic song. Prodigy was an amazing artist. Amazing. But yeah. So I say all that to say, just be mindful when you win big bread like that, when you win big amounts of money like that, what you do. And then there was another jackpot winner right after when it reset to 20 million. Somebody won that. Powerball results according to Newsweek. Numbers for January 23rd. Did somebody win the 20 million? Winning numbers for Saturday night's drawing were Powerball of 5, 18, 17, 27, and 28. The Powerball was 14, and the power play was X3. A player from New Jersey won a $20 million jackpot for the January 23rd draw, according to the Powerball website. There were several big winners as well. 35 people matched 5 white balls, according to correctly win a $1 million prize, and 8 more players doubled their winnings to $2 billion with a power play purchase. People getting money, starting the year beautiful. People getting money and starting the year beautiful. Let us see it. Another 38 players matched 4 white balls and the Powerball correctly to win $50,000 prizes, while 19 players tripled their prize money to $150,000 thanks to the power play purchase. A massive Powerball jackpot was won earlier this week. The ticket worth $731 million for the January 20th drawing was sold at Coney Market in Lona, Coney, Maryland. Before then, the jackpot had not been won since September 16th last year, making it the longest jackpot run in Powerball history. Man. Article goes on, Powerball is a hugely popular multi-state lottery that is available to play in 45 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Drawings usually take place twice a week on Wednesday and Saturday at 10:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Each draw is broadcast live in the lottery studio in Tallahassee, Florida. Each ticket costs $2 to play, with players selecting 5 numbers from 1 to 69, in addition to 1 red Powerball from 1 to 26. In certain circumstances, players can also multiply non-jackpot prizes by using the power play option for an additional $1. Why is the Powerball so low? I don't think that's low at all. $2 or $3, that adds up. They trying to gas it though, to keep people playing. Powerball slashed its minimum payout in half from 40 to 20 million, with the minimum roll increased of 2 million between drawings back in March last year because of the coronavirus pandemic, leading to reduced sales, according to lottery officials. Powerball product group chairman and main lottery director Gregory Mineo said in a statement, at the time, Powerball players in many U.S. lottery jurisdictions are under shelter-in-place orders or recommendations, which have affected normal consumer behaviors. So they did that so they could get the money up. And then don't be surprised if they let a bunch of people win, just so people will be able to, once people can get back out there, people won't forget. Bring us all that money right back. Yeah, we'll give out $1 billion. States get half. We'll get it right back. Then we'll give out a bunch million more. Don't worry. New Jersey will get that right back. It's a beautiful thing. It's like when a casino pays you out $1 million and they give you a nice fancy hotel room, comp your room, comp you with the finest drinks, and comp your your hotel, comp your service for food, continental breakfast, or breakfast to the room, comp everything for you. Nice rental suits, rental cars, etc. Because you got $1 million and they don't want you to leave with it. They want you to spend it right back. So they're gonna treat these people so nice, so they don't leave up with a dime and they spend it right back. Plus, plus. Many people often win these huge lotteries, and if they don't handle it right, they end up not only gone of the cash, the capital, the assets, however they had it, but they often end up in debt. Just something to think about. Financial management is super important. Financial education is key, is key, is key. And that's why we talk about that here on His Ghetto Point of View. Because we want to make sure people is doing the right things, doing the smart things, making sure they keeping themselves abreast of everything going on out here. So, one last article about money. Is the dollar crashing? Is the dollar crashing? Meaning, is the dollar becoming worth less and less? If you notice, you go to the store, you try to buy things, stuff ain't worth what it used to be. Like, you can't go to the store and get do the dollar and get 4 quarter bags of chips no more. Is even chip bags a quarter like they used to be? Like, you gotta pay 35 cents, 40 cents just for a quarter bag of chips, and then the chips, it's less chips in the bag. So like the price is just all around bonkers. So it's a Bloomberg article by a gentleman, Stephen Roach. The dollar is crashing. The dollar crash is only just beginning. America's net domestic savings rate has fallen by the most on record, making the economy even more reliant on foreign money. Crazy, y'all. After an initial spike higher, the dollar has been falling steadily since the COVID-19 pandemic took hold in the U.S. last March. It's down about 10% to 12% relative to America's major trading partners, dropping to its weakest levels since early 2018, as measured by the broad dollar indexes. There is more to come. Based on a widely unpopular forecast that I made in June of a 35% decline in the value of the dollar by the end of 35%. Guys, do you understand what that means? That means a 35% decline. So for every dollar you have right now in your pocket, it'll only be worth 65 cents. Your dollar will only be worth 65 cents. By the end of 2021, this person is projecting this. Now, he may be early with his projection, or he could be exactly right. Guys, make sure you're taking your bread and you finding ways to invest it to deal with this type of inflation that's going to happen. And inflation will cause things to cost more and more and more and more and more. If these companies have to pay $15 an hour minimum wage, that's going to cause inflation. And I know people say, well, people should deserve to get paid $15 an hour. At some companies, you're right. But if you understand that 50 to 60% of the companies in this country that hire people are mom and pop businesses, all of those companies all over the country can't pay $15, $16 an hour minimum wage because different parts of the country have different cost of living averages. What does that mean? That means it costs less to live in some parts of Florida than it costs to live in New York or LA. It costs less to live in Detroit than it costs to live in New York City. It costs less to live in New Jersey than it costs, and then most parts of New Jersey than it costs to live in most parts of New York City. It costs less to live in Albany than it costs to live in New York City. It costs less to live in Michigan or Milwaukee, Wisconsin than it costs to live in Los Angeles, California. It costs less to live in Mexico City, New Mexico, or Utah than it costs to live in most parts of Los Angeles, California, guys. I mean, these are just facts, like there are very expensive parts of this country to live in, the Texases, the Calis, the New Yorks, and then there's less expensive parts which has a lower cost of living, meaning that your rent is cheaper, it's cheaper to have a car, it's cheaper for gas, it's cheaper for tolls, it's cheaper for your kids to go to school, it's cheaper for you to have some nice property, it's cheaper for you to run a business. So if it's cheaper for you to do those things, your operating cost is less. You can make relatively the same type of living as somebody in a more expensive state with less money, meaning y'all can have the same type of lifestyle because it wouldn't cost you as much to have it. Even a dude like, I can't remember his name right now, the White Iverson rapper, bought a dope, beautiful mansion out in Utah for $4.1 million. That would have probably cost him way more somewhere else. And it's because he afforded himself the ability to fly in and out of that dope state where he can live, pretty much off the land and away from everybody. And just have everything dope flown out there, buy out there for cheap, buy a bunch of land out there, and just get the hell away from people. Sometimes that's good for your brain and your mind, just to clear yourself of all of the madness. It really is. So the article continues. If that forecast comes to pass, it will provide an important exclamation point for the first year in office for America's 46th President Joe Biden. It absolutely would if the American dollar goes down in the next year or two to being worth only 60 cents of its current value. Bro, what are you going to be able to buy with money? You know how much milk would cost? A gallon of milk is going to cost like $10. When we going to get to $20 gallons of milk with cash? This is crazy, guys. This is absolutely crazy. And that's why people have things like cryptocurrencies, like gold, like silver, like platinum, like real estate. People put their money in those types of assets because they feel that they are long-term preservers of wealth, long-term storers of monetary value. This is crazy. There were three main reasons why I argued the dollar would fall. The article continues. 1, a sharp widening in the U.S. current account deficit. 2, the rise of the euro. And 3, a Federal Reserve that would do little in response to any weakness in the greenback, aka the dollar bills. So he's saying the Federal Reserve won't do anything to adjust rates to make the dollar stronger, to make it easier for people to get loans or get relief from loans or aid packages, etc. On each of these counts, I have great conviction on the weak dollar call today I have greater conviction on the weak dollar call today than I did 6 months ago. So he's doubling down. He's even more confident now, 6 months later, seeing how everything is shaking out in his statements about the dollar losing all that value. Before the end of this year, the current account, as expected, the current account deficit, the broadest measure of trade because it includes investment income, has deteriorated further, widening by 1.2 percentage points to 3.3% of gross domestic product. And again, for those that don't know, the GDP, or the gross domestic product, measures the goods and services that countries export and what those go for on the market, and pretty much what your country exports. And that is to determine and how much it does, and the quality of those goods as determined by what they cost on the market. Like, you could say something is worth $1,000, but if people only going to pay $10 for it, then that's what it's worth on the market. So the goods and services your country exports, the amount and consistency and what that looks like over a year, and how that interplays with your international relationships, who you trade with, sets up your country GDP. The higher you are off the list, the more exporting of goods and services you're doing to other countries. The lower you are on the list, the lower your exports, or the cheaper your exports, because you might export a ton, but you might export a lot of crap. So, and the beat goes on. If I'll definitely have some financial analysts on and some financial experts to explain it more thoroughly, but those just things to keep in mind. So GDP, just your export, how much grinding you do, how much work you done put in by the end of the year, how many people trade with you and what they trade with you at, or how much they feel you worth, what you bring to the table is worth. If you're a music producer, how much your beats is selling for around the world or whatever. If you a basketball coach, how much of your hourly lessons go for with the people in your community or abroad. If you travel out to do bigger seminars and work with bigger athletes, and do you have rates for the bigger athletes and the local high school kids? And same thing, if you're an audio engineer, you have an indie rate, a major label rate, and how often are you getting the rates that you're asking for out of the marketplace? How often and effective? How often is that exchange happening? How effective are you at that exchange? What is the confidence level in people buying from you at those levels? All of that is to be taken into consideration. So, article continues. The shift in the second quarter was the largest erosion on record, and at its current level, the deficit is at its worst since the end of 2008. Whew. And if those who may not remember, in 2008 we did have very low, very poor finances, recession almost numbers going on in the U.S. at that time. This is crazy, guys. So the article continues. The second quarter plunge in domestic saving was largely an outgrowth of the $2.2 trillion CARES Act, which was aimed at providing fiscal relief during the COVID-related lockdown, with the pandemic and its aftershocks still very much in evidence. Another $2.8 trillion of fiscal relief is in the offing. $900 billion already signed into law in 2020, and a number of $1.9 trillion proposed by Biden. The combined relief packages total $5 trillion, or 24% of the 2020's GDP. While not stimulus in the conventional sense, this fiscal injection breaks all modern records by a wide margin. The domestic saving rate, as a result, should plunge further below zero, putting the already wide current account deficit under even more intense downward pressure. Jeez. Although the international imbalance may not break the prior record of minus 6.3% hit in 2005, as I argued in June, it's likely to come close. Yo, this article is crazy. Then it goes into why the dollar and the Chinese yuan is killing. Jesus, this article is dope. I definitely recommended this on Bloomberg.com, guys. Those that's really into the finance game. The dollar's crash is only just beginning. It is an opinion article, of course, by accountant finance gentleman Stephen Roach. So the column does not necessarily reflect the opinion of the editorial board or LP. The author's name is Stephen Roach. Stephen Roach is a faculty member at Yale University. So this is a Yale dude talking, and a former chairman at Morgan Stanley Asia. So somebody who went to Yale, worked at Morgan Stanley Asia, and is the author of Unbalanced: The Codependency of America and China. So no, this person may have an agenda in a particular narrative he's pushing. Of course, is a Yale dude, so he can be down with all that, all of those fraternities and what have you. And Morgan Stanley has its own, good old boys clubs that people get involved in. But these are also brilliant minds. Let's not get it twisted. Like, I don't care what they tell you about people like Bush and Trump and stuff. These people are brilliant minds who went to the best schools in the country. Some of them also did internships at some of the most prestigious business organizations around the world. And when they speak, people listen because they know it makes sense. Some of what you might see in the mainstream media about these people might be laughable, but see them at some of these finance conferences and stuff, and they talking a whole different game, because they talking to some of those people. They talking to they cater their conversations to their audience. They like rappers who switch up their playlists, switch up what they perform, and depending on who's gonna be in the crowd. That's all. Think about it like that. This is a really good article. Check it out, gang. But it's your boy Phantm Phuego. Take a quick break real quick. We'll be right back. Always appreciate you guys for listening. Shit. Yeah, gang, we back. So let's talk on the lighter side of things, man. So who really is the head honcho that really started and set off the BK drill scene? Like really, I mean, you got a lot of people that get the credit for it. You know what I mean? Fabio Foreign, Pop Smoke, Mr. Swipey, a lot of these people, 22 G's. You got a lot of very notable guys that at the early parts of the scene, but of course, we gotta give much love to the people overseas, the producers who set off the grunge and grime scene and started a lot of those beats, and who also now produce for a lot of the artists over here in the States, bringing that sound over here and helping that meld and that collab happen. So, who really started the BK drill scene? Hip Hop DX report Fabio Foreign crowns nameless BK drill inventor. Phantm Pop Smoke, Chef G, 22 G's debates. Fabio Foreign caused a stir on Twitter Wednesday, January 20th, when he attempted to end the originator of the Brooklyn drill music debate and didn't want to hear anyone else for an answer outside of his late friend and fellow Canarsie native. Canarsie being a neighborhood out here in Brooklyn, New York. Pop Smoke. Don't even ask me about who started Brooklyn drill. He wrote before insinuating Pop to be his only response. Cause it's only one answer. I don't care. IDK, WTF, everybody else talking about. Don't care what anybody else is talking about. It's only one answer. He wrote to his Twitter feed. Followers immediately hopped into Fabio's replies and began heated debates over who actually started Brooklyn drill. Answers range from Bobby Shmurda's GS9 crew, 22 G's, Chef G, and 2605, but there definitely wasn't a consensus as to the correct response. Pop's posthumous Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon is now double platinum, and he earned a Grammy nomination for Dior in the Best Rap Song category. On the heels of releasing Meet the Woo 2, definitely a dope body of work. In February 2020, Pop was shot and killed in Los Angeles home invasion just over a year into his promising career. Damn, cuz it seemed Fabio, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Fabio has also shifted into album mode. The Drill Rama announced that he'll be going off the grid for a bit to put all of his energy and focus into his next body of work. But he joined Funk Flex to kick off 2021 with the Game Time last Friday. Album. He recently also wrote on his Instagram, I'm cutting my brain off for a while. I'm going into album mode. And, this album is about to be it. So, that really set off a really big debate. A lot of people, a lot of people posted Bobby Shmurda and Rowdy, GS9, then 22G, Chef, then everybody else with some of the replies. So, listen, it was a very interesting conversation. You could definitely make the argument, you know what I mean, that, 22G's, Chef, and definitely had the scene buzzing for a while. You could say Bobby Shmurda had the scene buzzing, with the early rendition of what the sound would translate into. I mean, there's definitely good arguments for all of it, But Favi, come on, he ain't trying to hear nothing but, Senor the Rule as the answer. Like, watch your mouth. His man's passed away. He ain't trying to hear nothing else. You gotta respect it. So, but of course, people ain't going. Those is inflammatory comments and those is fighting words, as we say out here. So people gonna have their piece to say. People gonna say what they say, and you could be mad about it. You could want to fight about it. That's Brooklyn. Like, whatever. I see you in the streets about it, and it is what it is. So, very dope article. Shout out to Hip Hop DX for that one. Very nice piece. Excellent work. Please, as always, guys, continue to like, share, subscribe to the show. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Sundays and Wednesdays is when we get it in. Make sure you, whatever network you on, Spotify, Overcast, Anchor. Shout out to the people at Anchor for always holding it down. This amazing platform, and now the full collaboration with Spotify is only taking it up and up and up and up and up. Things is looking great. Whether you're listening on Anchor, on Spotify, on Overcast, on Radio One, on any of the amazing networks, the Google Podcast, the Apple Podcast, I thank you so much. Please make sure you add it to your playlist, add it to your recommend it to other people, tell a friend and tell a friend, add it to your recommendations list. Share them out, man. Let people know. It's one of the dopest podcasts on the rise. And the interviews with so many amazing people alone. The different type of articles we talk about here, the different stories, the different news that I try to keep my team, my fam, my people, my familiars, my tribe abreast of. This is just an amazing ride. It's an amazing experience. You guys make this all worth it. It's so much fun. I'm going to get out of here for today, gang. Sunday, fun day. Thank you so much as always. Please continue to donate. The donations have been much appreciated, and it's always a blessing. PayPal.me/Phantm Phuego. PayPal.me/Phantm Phuego. PhantM Phuego. That's PayPal.me/Phantm Phuego. Or if you got Venmo, it's Phantm/Phuego. Phantm-Phuego-42. PhantM-Phuego-42. Thank you guys so much. See you Wednesday. This has been another great episode of His Ghetto Point of View, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews. It's just a bit of His Ghetto Point of View. Ooh, ooh, His Ghetto Point of View. Ooh. Y'all have a great one. Peace.